Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is Special Forces Season 4, Episode 7, Composure.
Composure, or where there was a complete lack of composure, I suppose.
This was the most chaotic thing I have ever seen.
But not for Kody Brown. I mean, like, this is...
No, for this show. It was like we shifted a gear.
Oh, yeah. This show has never seen the phenomena that is Kody Brown. And, like, so for Sister Wives Chaos, it wasn't really that far off the scale here.
I am so annoyed that they held out on us. Like, they have all of this very hilarious footage of Kody just running around, neurotic, like a chicken with his head cut off, annoying everybody from the staff to the other cast members.
Yeah. And I mean, that was what we pointed out, was that this show needs like a comedic element. And then a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that we saw was very comedic with Ravi when he was in that role for, what was it? The duty person? What is it? Duty crew?
Duty officer? Duty recruit.
Duty recruity. Recruity on duty. And yeah, like all of that stuff of Ravi communicating with the DS was hilarious, but it wasn't included in the show. I guess it's any of the TV personality types. But Gia's been doing it for the past few days. They haven't really emphasized that too much.
This show is too serious overall.
It's very serious.
But this episode was not.
It's hard for this episode to be serious. So yeah, let's get into it because there's a lot that goes on.
It's day 7. We're down to 8.
8.
Okay,
we started with
8. And Christy coughed all night.
Another one, the dust bites. It's not another one biting the dust here. It's...
What is happening?
This dirt, man.
Everyone's getting lung infections from the dirt out here in Morocco.
Do you guys have any N95 masks lying around before we play another round of murder ball?
Didn't it seem like she had a great day the day before?
She was at peak performance. Christy was on top of the world. They had called her in not to ridicule her or try to understand or like give her any feedback on anything. It was just to tell her she did a great job.
Which doesn't happen on this show.
That does not happen.
Maybe that was like our Easter egg that she was going to go the next episode.
I guess. But like, as soon as she wakes up, she's been coughing all night. And so the medical staff's like, yeah, you're tapped out. You have to go home. So she has to turn in her armband to the DS. She's crying. She's completely broken up over it. The DS, Rudy's like, hey, would it make you feel better if I take my shirt off? Or like, what? Do you want to,
You can rub my six-pack abs.
Yeah, you can rub my abs before you go. I'm
sure
that'll
Kody
make you feel better.
Put that out there too.
Yeah, as a suggestion, open invite.
No, his shy pretty wave would never approve of that.
No. So they do have to take her number. They're trying to reassure her, though, you're going out on top. Like, honestly, this was not your choice. This is not your decision. And you crushed it. You did such a great job. You have nothing to be ashamed of here.
No. You know who does have something to be ashamed of? Kody. What is this man's bedtime routine? His nighttime top knot that he's putting in with, I'm pretty sure, a little silk hair tie. Make sure we don't damage any of the bleached out curls that he's got going on. He's got
fried.
The mouth tape.
The mouth tape is a whole look, too. Yes.
I mean, he's basically like a TikTok...
get ready with me for bedtime.
An influencer.
For bedtime.
A bedtime influencer.
He
made his cherry elixir before bed to help him go to sleep.
Some tonics, some creams. Barracks, bedtime in the barracks. That could be a whole series.
Okay, somebody needs to DM Special Forces and tell them that we need that.
But also part of the routine, not just for bedtime, all the time, is just mentally torturing the other participants. That's kind of Kody's thing. That's how he's passing the time.
Yeah, everyone else is finally getting to the point where they're exhausted. They're kind of tired of being around each other, especially him. I think, too, his side of the tent has really cleared out. Should I not be calling it a tent? I should
tent?
probably be calling it the barracks.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
It is a tent.
It is. That's what it is. It's a tent structure. What, you think he's claiming other cots as his own? I think he stinks. That's the main thing that we're learning here, which we kind of already got a glimpse of that in Sister Wives this season.
It's no surprise now. We understand why Robin has the ick. This man smells 24/7, and this is how he goes to bed.
He must be sweating out. It's just all the supplements. What is there, like a bunch of...
His liver is working overtime.
That must be it. And then like he hasn't had lemons in a while. Is that another thing that is like beneficial about the lemons?
Overall pH is thrown off by the lemons.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
He's more acidic than normal.
He still hasn't balanced out, I don't think.
Mark also had an injury.
He's got some cauliflower ear, some
he doesn't
swelling.
know. He's just like, this, my ear doesn't feel right. And then Brianna's looking at it and she's confirming.
Poking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. Look, it's all swollen. And she's just poking and prodding at it with her raw dog finger, just jabbing at this thing. Kody's there to reassure, though. Hey, what manly man doesn't have a little bit of cauliflower ear?
Gross.
I'm a wrestler.
He's jealous. He wish he got the cauliflower ear.
Oh, then I'd have
murder
something
ball.
to brag about when I get home. They wouldn't let me bring my headgear. I tried to get that into my personal affects, but they wouldn't let me pack it.
He ran out of personal items that he could bring.
Yeah, he was all out. He's asking stupid questions. What day is it? Day 7?
I think he's just trying to start conversation.
He lost track. I know, Bree's not here for it. Like, everybody's on their last nerve. And then Kody's still trying to chum it up like it's day 2.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
read the room. Read the tent.
This is the infinite amounts of enthusiasm and positivity that we heard about from the OGs who said that had faded. So I don't know if everyone here in the barracks is aware. They're clearly not, because they didn't know who he was when they first got here. They've slowly learned. I mean, isn't that really showing you something? That's maybe a lesson that Kody should take home with him, that he had an entire group of people who had no baseline to dislike him. And yet they grew steadily to dislike him over 7 days.
Every day, more and more dislike. Significant amounts of dislike. He's humming to himself while they're preparing for the day here. Brianna's basically like, take me out back and shoot me at this point, because I'm going to lose it.
They're all so over it. They're kind of teeing up this episode. It's very clearly going to be a Kody-focused episode and Shawn Johnson East, because then she's talking a little bit about how she struggled with perfectionism. And that's what the conversation that's happening on her side of the barracks while Kody is over humming to himself and trying to draw the attention back
and
to
asking,
him.
asking what day it is. And then he's talking with Andrew about, are we the toughest or are we just the most optimistic? Are we the dumbest?
No, I'm telling you, the most mentally ill.
I'm
holding strong on that. The better you are at disassociating from what you have to do and just being able to get the job done, the further you're going to get on this show.
You have to disconnect. You have to mentally check out from this process to make that happen.
The first mission is coming up. So it's going to be a hostage rescue mission. Rudy starts talking about being a lone wolf and
he was talking about
how you have to be in a team. You have to be able to work with others. You can't be a lone wolf.
The strength of the wolf is in the pack, and the strength of the pack is in the wolf.
I'm glad you remembered that.
It's very important. Words to live by.
They do give a little sage advice before they go into missions, and it seems like that just goes over everybody's heads.
Nobody's really listening or like...
They're just terrified.
Understanding, processing, comprehending what the instructions are.
Ever.
Not really. Yeah, it was... I'm just worried they're going to tell me to, like, run right now and do something.
So wasn't it weird that they made them all get in the cars and then they just... It's like an Uber driver just stopping somewhere to let Mark out because there's someone here to meet him to look at his ear?
Kody was just chilling when they were parked for a minute there, and he's like, gosh, I needed this. Like, I needed air. This experience. He's just so jazzed about being on the show.
Yeah, wasn't that the weird thing he said about how he needs us to feel alive and being alive equals masculinity?
Feeling alive makes him feel masculine.
Don't edit out that silence when you
oh boy.
I don't know how to interpret that or explain that. He's really obsessed with his own masculinity.
His in particular, but like also it's a very, very delicate, fragile set that we have here that we're dealing with.
It's kind of like, to me, giving a little bit like Narc in not knowing who you are as a person.
So he has to
create this definition of what it is to be a man. And
Yes.
he's latched on to something like masculinity, patriarchy, authoritarianism, and decided that like that's his blueprint for how to be a person.
because he doesn't really know anything else. Yeah, he doesn't have anything else to base it off of.
Well, bad news for Mark. Turns out he needs to see a specialist who is a surgeon. Like, this is serious.
The medic's talking about,
just his ear. There's no way.
Disfigurement.
He's a model.
Permanent disfigurement.
Is he a model, or is
He's a model.
he's like a?
They said
he's like
model.
a TikTok thirst trapper.
Gia said model. I think that might be giving him a little bit more, credit than is due, I suppose. I don't know. If it sounds like he was like just posting photos on TikTok for the most part.
Well, does that not confirm for us that women don't want to look at the cauliflower ear? That they were all like, get him out of here, get him to a surgeon. It's an emergency. We have to fix his ear before it starts to look like that permanently.
And he was already dreading it. This was the ripoff, and this was the bracket breaker for us because we had Mark up at the top because we were like, he hasn't had a focus episode yet. So, I mean, that just goes to show you that these medical tap outs can happen at any point in time.
So I wonder if that means that it happened before they filmed his meeting with the DS. Because we know that they can take them out of order. It doesn't necessarily mean just because you saw somebody's meeting with the DS in an episode where they were like standing out in a challenge or something, that those things happen on the same day.
Yeah, they base it off of storylines. So they'll pull people in at different points. And then from those conversations, they just slot them in based on the episode story that they're trying to tell.
So either he was extremely forgettable and we don't remember when he got called in, or he never got called in.
No, he did not get called in. Because that's what we were concerned about. We were like, how is that going to work out?
He was just like a sleeper, wasn't he? Like, he was here.
Gray man. I think that's the term that they use, where it's just like, did not pick up on this dude at all. But he's out. So he's gone. That's it.
So now we're down to 6, which works out. That's convenient, isn't it? Because we're going to go into a challenge where they have to be paired with one other person. Yeah. So if Mark stuck around, we would have had an uneven number.
Would have been a whole thing. Somebody would have had to run it again. And they were like, look, medical staff, can you just tell him that it's going to be permanent disfigurement or whatever, just so that we can get him out of here? That's just going to even this out. We didn't really plan for a team of 3.
Make things a little easier for us.
Just clear him out here. So who's up first? It's our wolf pack party of 2 here.
Kody and Shawn.
Kody and Shawn, which this feels like a doomed pair, where they set them up where it's like, yeah, you aren't supposed to do this well.
No. I mean, the sigh of relief that must have come from both Gia and Brie when they found out they finally were getting to a mission where they weren't going to have to work with Kody. But unfortunately, that means that Shawn's on deck. And like you said, the both of them struggle with having to work with other people because Shawn's used to gymnastics being a very individual challenge. Kody obviously thinks he's the leader of all things and is terrible at communicating in a team.
Right. He's under the delusion, not the impression. He's under the delusion that he is a great leader. He's not.
No.
Yeah. And they're warning them about all of these potential hazards, these dangers, because this is a hostage rescue mission that you're set up for. There's going to be all sorts of stuff that you cannot plan for that could be harmful to you. So you got to be on your toes. And then also communication is very, very important. Communication is key.
So the way this works is there's a building that they're going to have to clear.
There's a compound. So there's like a main building, and then there's like
the whole outdoor
a little
area.
shed and some other outdoor space.
They're supposed to clear the building. There's an asset inside the building. There's a box with a code on it so that they know that that's the right thing that they're looking for. They have to retrieve that. Then they have to find the hostage that they need to rescue.
So they didn't tell them that like in order, because they were talking about the hostage first. There is a hostage. That's your main thing. And then there's also a piece of equipment. It's labeled with this number. So you have to get that too.
You have to do this all in 2 minutes. And there's chemical warfare going on. So you're going to need to wear a respirator when you're inside the building.
Yeah, there's going to be gas. And then after 2 minutes, the whole place is going to blow up. Okay?
So good luck.
So hurry.
Make sure you talk to each other.
Go fast.
See you on the other side.
So they start off, they go in. Most people, I would say, I would work off the assumption there's a large building. Clear the building, right? Like that would be the first thing that you would probably do. They check the perimeter first. Kody has to get his stink on the land, you know.
He's got to run around a couple laps first.
He's not new to this. Yeah, he likes to claim his plots. So they start off with like these little areas. They're going so slow, wasting so much time, but they do happen to find the hostage is actually like
outside.
Under the house outside. So they see the hostage and they were like, oh gosh, here's the hostage. Here's the person.
See, now that's the problem because now you're going to have to bring the hostage with you or somebody's going to have to stay with the hostage.
You didn't secure the area. So
now you have your hostage in an unsafe situation.
Well, now they're like immediately are picking up the hostage. Like, you're coming with us. You're coming with us. Maybe you just make a mental note of that's where the hostage is. Because they would have been there if I was searching in the building anyway, right? Like, I'll come back before I get out of here. I'm going to allow enough time to do that, right? Like, you could make a mental note.
Okay, you very clearly shouldn't bring the hostage into the building.
Don't bring the hostage into
the building that is emitting smoke.
The building that is smoking, full of chemicals, that you have a mask, that you've been given a mask and you're told you need this respirator.
Just you two. There's
to
not
enter
a
the
spare.
building. There's not a spare one. There's not an extra one. And even if you got up to the door, because that's what they're dragging this poor hostage around now, they are now heading up to the door, all three of them. You could have set this person down like right outside the door and said like, stay here, wait here.
It wasn't good that they found him first. Shawn's trying to pull on the hostage's shirt to keep Kody from dragging him into the building with him.
Kody is absolutely set on, again, his programming is where we go one, we go all. We know that too. I mean, for a while there it was. So he is dragging this man into the building that is full of smoke now.
Maskless.
So I think this is the lesson here, right? The allegory that's on display. If you're helpless and reliant on Kody, just know that he will lead you into harm without a second thought. That's basically what's going on.
And not turn to anybody else for a second opinion.
No. Yeah, because Shawn is actively trying to at least just, hey, leave him out here, have him sit down right here. Something, no communication, we need to go. Hold the door open for me, Shawn, so I can get the hostage in the house.
It's hard to get us both through the door frame.
I can't hold this open. And no, you shouldn't be.
It's totally off the rails from there because Shawn realizes she has zero control in this situation. Cody's not listening to her.
So now she's like, okay, well, I guess I'll look for the equipment, I guess.
They're just running around this place, accomplishing nothing.
They didn't say anything. Cody's wandering from room to room with the hostage who's coughing profusely now.
He's got the Christy lung.
He has his respirator on and is just wandering around aimlessly, not really looking for anything, not really finding anything. Time is running out.
That's when he realizes, oh, the building's going to explode.
Oh,
so
right.
Instead of making sure that his partner also gets out of the building, he leaves her behind and runs to the front with the hostage.
Yeah. The building then proceeds to explode. And then Shawn was still in there for like another minute looking around. She comes running out and the staff's like, what are you doing? It's over. You're over.
Long gone.
For, 45 seconds now, I think.
She was looking for Kody.
She looked around. She was still checking the places that they had already been all through the house again. And then she comes out to turn the corner and see Kody standing there already. And she's like,
pissed.
What the fuck, dude?
The whole thing was just really bad. It was a clusterfuck. It was chaotic. The DS are screaming at them. She's
buffoonery with a capital B is what
Kody,
the description is.
You led yourself up your own ass.
All of the things that they were saying were so accurate.
It was so rewarding to watch as a Sister Wives watcher, right? As a fan who's been waiting to see this man finally get ripped to shreds for his lack of leadership.
Just absolutely terrible. Horrible job.
Not only did they not find the piece of equipment, the asset they were looking for. The hostage is dead because you pulled him into a building full of chemicals.
Chemical warfare.
Not exactly sure why you thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
So you failed. I mean, that was like the worst failure you could possibly get.
We didn't even consider that this would be a way to fail everything, to fail all of the tasks in such a creative way. You failed so hard. There's no other way to put this. Absolutely terrible. What destroys me is that there's like limited amount of strategizing that goes on. Because, I mean, they get to team up. You know who you're paired with. And then they're just kind of standing around and just waiting for them to tell. And it's like, you guys need to get on the same
Talk to
page.
each other.
Come up with what is your system.
Have you never watched a SWAT show before? You don't know how to clear a building?
You got to check your corners, and then you got to,
What would we have done?
Because we had already come up with a system pretty quickly where, I mean, to be fair, we were kind of watching them do this, but now we would have an idea.
This is how I would have approached it anyway.
We would have an idea now of just like, okay, I kind of know what to expect of like, if you're clearing a building or if you're looking for stuff, because we would be looking for hostage and item at that point. Start with the building. What happens?
We're
you go
both
into
going
a room,
into the same room.
Same room. Stay together.
You check that side of the room. I check the other side of the room.
Left,
back
right.
to back.
And well, you go, I would say left, right. And then we both work our way to the middle. And once you bump into each other, that's when you say,
Right.
Did you find anything? No.
You're
Next
clearing
room.
one side. I'm clearing the other side. Move to the next room.
And then that way you're working your way around the perimeter here. And then that half of the room to work your way back out to then go to the next room. Efficiency. Efficiency is key. That's what's required.
The
here.
neurodivergency meets going to a college that forced us to work in a lot of groups and teams.
Maybe that's part of it. Probably.
So Andrew and Gia have to go in next. And then we have Bree and Randall.
Yes.
Andrew and Gia, they find the hostage. They don't find the box.
So technically it's a fail because they got out in time, though, and they didn't kill their hostage, which,
I mean, vast improvement.
Big improvement. Yeah, they weren't able to find the case.
Could have been better.
Could have been better.
Not the worst that we saw this episode.
But Bree and Randall find the case, find the hostage, and they get out in time. Successful pass. Very impressive.
I did not feel like the DS gave them enough kudos for what they did.
Of course not. Well, especially after watching how terrible the other ones were. Well, I mean, not to say that Gia and Andrews was terrible, because obviously after Kody and Shawn,
well, the bar was set very, very low.
Very low. You can only go up from there. Really.
So everybody's talking to each other about how they did. And Shawn is so mad.
Shawn can't even talk about what happened because she is fuming over this. She is so upset because you did terrible. It was such a bad job.
It only gets worse because then Kody turns to Andrew and starts apologizing to him about how he got his wife killed in this mission.
And Andrew's slowly gathering the details because people are like, oh yeah, we found the hostage, but we didn't find the kit, so we failed. And then Kody has to be like, yeah, we failed too because we didn't find the kit and we killed the hostage. And people are like,
not we, me,
okay.
You, sir.
Well,
you killed your partner.
Well, and here's the thing. Yeah, you killed the hostage and you killed your partner. So it's like you killed two people in this mission. I didn't even know that was a possibility on the outcomes list.
He was the only one to get out.
How did you kill two people?
Andrew's like, you friggin' ditched her?
Andrew's finding out what happened. He's like, holy shit, dude. This is terrible.
It's not the first time he's ditched someone's wife. His wife.
Somebody's wife.
This isn't surprising
Everybody's
to
wife.
A lot of us watching at home.
No.
Okay.
That's got to be a first, though, right? Of like
on this show,
killing a teammate and a hostage in a training exercise, like
through your own leadership.
How did you do? How did you manage to do that?
Then Bree turns to Kody and suggests maybe you need to consider that you should stop trying to lead. Like, you're pretty bad at it, so maybe you should try following from now on.
I think that's a great idea. Because we determined that Kody is not a leader. He was trying to say that he considers himself a great leader when it comes to his family, but that just, he never finished that thought. He just kind of trailed.
Explain what happened.
Just kind of trailed off of like, I thought I was good at leading, and then my family fell apart, basically. But he didn't even say that part. He just kind of left it up to the viewer to decide, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what he was trying to do.
It was a choose your own adventure book.
It didn't go great. It wasn't good. So Bree's trying to suggest a new route, something else for Kody to try. Maybe shut up and take a back seat on this stuff. But that's what Cody's like, communication was the problem. I forgot to take my mouth tape off. I wasn't talking.
Snaps to the women for being the ones who have lost their patience with him the quickest.
Well, Shawn, just a couple episodes ago, was referring to Kody as her little buddy.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
She's pissed on the ride home.
Be careful what you wish for.
Was she talking to Gia about it?
She was explaining to Gia how at that moment where the explosion hit, she then checks the entire compound, still looking for Kody, and then exits to find Kody standing there, waiting at the exit. And Gia's like, yeah, that would have
put me over the edge too.
Infuriating. So yes, you are not wrong in your assessment here.
So now it's time for the DS to call their first person in this episode. And they decide they're going to call Shawn.
Well, it was between Shawn or Kody, and Cody's still chugging a gallon of Tang in the barracks, so he's occupied right now.
Tang or the expired electrolytes that they said he brought with them?
Yeah, some Gatorades, some caffeine mix. I don't know what it was.
They're trying to figure out, is Shawn going to be able to bounce back from this? Because her performance until now has been really strong. So this is kind of strange and out of character that she would do so poorly.
This is the challenge. We paired her with Kody so she would fail because we needed to see if she's able. Yeah, we had to cut her down here a little bit just to see if she can bounce back, rally back. Is there the fortitude there to overcome that one issue that you've had here?
I'm a little done with seeing athletes on this show because they all come in with the same stories. Hers is a little bit different. Not really. I take it back. It's the same.
It's pretty much
She's
the same.
not used to working in a team. So that is different than the guys who played football or basketball.
Yeah.
Gymnastics is a very individual sport. And she's got a lot of trauma from having gone through what she did being an Olympic athlete.
Yeah. Well, the DS are calling out, you seem very robotic. Like there's not a lot of emotion. We can't really get a read on you. And like that's making it difficult for us to make an assessment because when it comes down to it, it's our decision at the end. Would we have you stand next to us? And we wouldn't do that with someone that we don't know. And it feels like we don't really know you because we're getting like this blank performance version of you that we don't know how to connect with.
Which is tough for her because that's how she survived getting through gymnastics.
That's how
she competes.
I perform. Yeah, that's how I get into this mode. So in order to do that, I have been shutting everything off because I get nervous that I'm going to mess stuff up around you guys.
What they're tasking her with is we need to get to know you more before the end of this. She gets back to the barracks and she tells Kody. Well, she tells everybody, but Kody cannot believe that they said they wanted more character, more personality out of her.
No way. They want more personality? I'll have to ramp it up then. I've been holding back.
I feel like he said that because every time he talks, he gets yelled at.
Yes. He couldn't believe it. Where he was like, huh. Well, and that's the thing too, is where it's like, well, some people's advice, especially for the technical questioning, it's very specific advice for that person.
It's not for the group. It's not group feedback.
Definitely not for you, Kody. We don't need to see any more of your character on display at all, actually.
So now they all start to eat a meal, and it gets interrupted because they call Cody's number. He has to come out and talk to the DS, and he's dropping everything that he has in his hands. He's like, I'm going to leave that right here. He's frantically running out. He runs past the rock that they're supposed to stop at.
He's trying to like bust into their barracks.
Yeah, he's trying to go back to the staff barracks.
He's trying.
Their dorms.
And then who was that? Was that Foxy? He's like, what are you doing? And Cody's like, oh, sorry, to the rock. Yeah. And like runs over to the rock. And Foxy's like, yeah, don't go in there. I think Kody was expecting to have the bag put over his head. I think he thought
it's his turn.
He was getting called in for tactical questioning, and he was ready to go for that because he did so bad this morning. So he was expecting that, but no, you are being assigned your duty recruit duty tasks here. So that's your job now, okay?
He's out finding this out, and meanwhile, they're using the opportunity while he's away for a few minutes to talk shit about him. All the other recruits.
Oh, yeah.
Brianna's leading it. She's like, okay, guys, I've spent the most amount of time with this man.
Unfortunately,
so,
against my will.
Here's my advice. Keep him happy. Otherwise, we're going to be miserable. If he's happy, we're happy.
I don't think so, because Kody seems to be enjoying himself quite a bit. He does seem very happy and pleased with himself all the time. I think that is
the problem. They have made him feel too comfortable.
Yes.
Because she's like, he needs to feel like he's part of the group. That's how much they dislike him, that they're thinking, we'll just leave him out. We'll alienate him. We'll let him be the stinky one in the corner, and we'll do our thing.
He's the stinky kid in class right now. And Randall's like, hey, you got something special in you, Bree, because I don't have that. And like, that's not how I'm going to be going about this.
The first thing that he has to do is start taking a list of items that they need to replenish.
Well, the first thing that he does is he immediately barges in back into lunch and tells Gia, hey, G, you're going to have to tell me about everything that I need to do as duty recruit now. And she's like, there's not a lot to it, really.
Can we agree that he has just decided to call her G because he could not remember her name?
He keeps saying Gina. And she was like, you need to stop. You could just call me G. If that's easier to remember, then just do that.
Yeah, that's what he's gone with.
Yeah.
She's like, this is day 7. Someone has been a duty recruit every day. You haven't observed what they do?
No. Yeah, no. I haven't been paying attention.
I'm going to need the woman to teach me how to... He was basically just picking up stuff with a toothpick out of the catering trays.
I don't think that was part of the duty recruit.
You don't. That was just something he took on as...
Yeah, that was just
his own thing.
Serving Andrew because he's a beta male and he needs to serve the alpha. Yeah, I like the list that they put together too, because it was hand soap and blister band-aids. 2 items, which Kody had to write on a notepad. And then he ran over to the DS barracks again and yells for the staff to come out. And everyone hears him because then they're still ripping on him in the mess hall. All the cadets, you know.
It's because he was so fucking loud.
Because it was incredibly loud.
He screams staff. And they're like, oh, he's back already.
He's back. He's back at it. So he tells them, he reads off from his list the 2 items that he jotted down on the notepad here. And they just tell him, disappear. So he does. He runs off. Now the DS are ripping on him. They cut to that camera inside.
Everywhere that he's not, they're talking shit about him.
They're talking shit about it. Everybody is so sick. Everybody's roasting him left and right.
That's when they called him the giant Chucky, right? He's like a giant deranged
version
of Chucky.
He's standing out there, big beaming smile, like a huge Chucky doll. Yeah, a big version of Chucky. So then Kody's back in the barracks. He's going to take a quick nap. And this is when he lets everyone know, we got to be ready to go, though. So everybody ears on, okay? Capiche?
I cackled.
I know you did.
I cackled when he said capiche. I don't know where he picked that up from. I'm looking at you, Gia. I'm looking at you, Brianna. I'm looking at you, Jesse. One of you guys said it, and he learned what it meant. And now he's mentally put that upstairs. And I swear, if we have to watch next season of Sister Wives, or we're getting up to this point in time, aren't we?
It's coming up.
If the rest of the season is Sister Wives, we have to watch him do a Tony Soprano impression. I'm going to be so upset.
That was the note that I had, was that it's only a matter of time before this shows up in Sister Wives, where he starts saying capiche to Robin's kids. If he uses it at the Coyote Pass showdown, I will be destroyed next week. I will not be able to make it.
Luckily, I think that happened before he went here.
Hopefully.
We have a few more months to go before he picks this up as part of his dialect.
Yes, hopefully.
She rolled his eyes, Gia did.
She rolled his eyes? I think she wanted to roll his eyes back in the back of his head.
I don't know what she said. She cursed and she was like, oh my God.
God. I think it was a Gia thing. I think Gia was saying it
to them
at some point, or as part of her duty stuff that she was doing, duty recruit responsibilities. And Kody picked up on that. But it's just like, normally that could be like a reassuring thing or like a bonding thing that you're doing with your team where you're kind of saying things that other people say and that you're all speaking a universal language now. And it's everything about him is grating, irritating, annoying.
That's like the only thing he noticed was part of what she did. He took note of that and was like, this is part of what it is to be duty recruit. For those of you who don't know, capiche is an Italian-American word. Again, not the correct Italian pronunciation, so don't come for all of us.
Yes, all of our great Bambinos out there.
Just wait till he starts combining these together.
Capiche, Bambinos?
He's expanding
Hola, mi Bambinos!
his Italian vocabulary. It means, do you understand? It's like a confirmation that then you would repeat capiche back to somebody. So a lot of times
prego.
Your older, your dad or your older Italian relatives would say that to you when you're not listening when you're a kid. So good luck with that. We'll see the evolution of it. If he remembers it after this or not.
So then he gets into some lifestyle discussions with Andrew after his nap, post-nap discussions here, or wherever they're editing this in. And Kody's still in the process of blaming the divorces for the reason why his adult children don't speak to him.
There's been bad blood with the divorces. He really wasn't clear as to what the current scenario is with the kids. I feel like he understated it by saying in some cases, the kids don't talk to him. It's elevated from some to most.
Several, few.
Majority.
Several.
Don't speak to me anymore.
Well, and then also, I don't really go out of my way to speak to them. I think that's the other unspoken part here that we, as Sister Wives viewers, we're all very aware of the fact that Kody does not try to mend those relationships or bridge those gaps in any way, shape, or form. And that's the bigger problem, right? That's the issue that we have as the repeated pattern. But now it's time they're calling everyone on parade here.
What did we call this? I'm calling it the Monkeybars mission.
Oh, this is, I think I said race to the finish because it's the losers who have to keep doing this circuit here. So they're facing off head to head, recruit against recruit, and whoever wins just gets to go back to the barracks. So the sooner you win, the sooner it's over.
It's basically a CrossFit WOD, right? It's an AMRAP.
It's an AMRAP.
There were push-ups in here. There's the monkey bars.
Tire flip.
There's the tire flip. They had to go over and under.
Over and under.
What were those logs?
Logs. Logging.
Log
jamming.
Kody was getting a little jealous. He's thinking, this is what I could have done with all those logs on Coyote Pass as part of my training.
I pilled so many logs. I never thought to put them on stands and then jump over them and crawl under them.
Wish he hadn't sold Coyote Pass, that he could use it as a training ground.
He could still be able to do that. But we end up with, kind of whittles down based on the results here. And it ends up being Gia against Bree. And Gia wins that race too. So then now it's just Bree with the DS staff. And they're kind of berating her. And she was having trouble at the monkey bars. There's a lot of monkey bar trauma in the Discord.
Yes, this is what we're learning. A lot of us traumatized by them.
A lot of that in the Sister Wives fandom that we saw on the watch party last night.
And obviously it was unfair to have to compete against Shawn Johnson on the monkey bars.
Oh my God. Well, Bree was up against Shawn Johnson first. And then her second round, she was up against Andrew East. So to go against both of them back to back, it's like, okay, that's the toughest schedule that you can line me up with here. And then, Gia even coming back into the barracks, she's like, it's not even fair because, of course, Bree's not going to win. I'm more physically fit for this challenge than she is. And her hands were all torn up and stuff, too. She's got them all wrapped up and bandaged. So the monkey bars were really giving her trouble there.
Well, we found out that competition that they did where they had to rescue another fallen comrade, and they had those
stretchers.
Yes, at the stretchers they just left out to bake in the sun, so they were metal and they were so hot when they touched them. So the monkey bars had to be the same way.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So it just melted their skin off their hands.
Well, some people would just flew right through it there. But that's what Shawn's pointing out to Gia. She's like, nothing's fair. But,
thanks, robot.
Yeah,
thanks for working on that.
For the human element here to the conversation.
The empathy.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
They haven't really taken the feedback very well, have you? They're just trying to break Bree down.
They're wearing her down. Yeah. And I mean, because then that's what she's getting frustrated with. They're giving her a hard time. You keep coming in last. She just completed the challenge this morning, though. So she's thinking, well, that's not true. But I think that they were talking about in this particular exercise, you finished last every single circuit. So that's what they're really addressing here. It's not the accomplishments don't matter
anymore if they're in the past.
From, earlier today or before now. We're talking about right now. And you failed.
She's getting frustrated that they're making it seem like she's not trying. And she very much is trying and is putting in a lot of effort. So that's what's irritating her. We are getting to the point where I think people are going to either just break and say, I just don't want to do this anymore. Or they're going to start talking back a lot and the DS isn't going to put up with it anymore.
So Bree kind of holds it together until she gets back to the barracks, and then she's letting loose with how frustrated she is because it's very annoying to be constantly accused of not trying when she is very clearly trying to be there. But are we going to get to that level too where, hey, you're trying your best, but the DS are pulling numbers if it's
your
not...
Your best isn't good enough
your best
anymore.
Isn't good enough now.
A la Chanel.
Yes. So like that could be a very real situation too.
Something to think about as you adjust your brackets for next week.
As always, yes. And then we break up here with a little bit of small talk with Kody and Gia at the watering hole.
They have a lot of footage of Gia washing her face, washing her hair, applying Vaselines, taking care of her wounds. And so Kody's like, your cleanliness is something that I really admire. Good for you.
I've seemed to let that go a little bit while here, obviously, with my stinkiness.
Bree hears him say that because
Bree's
she's cleaning the toilets.
Bree is cleaning the latrine. And she's like, this is easier than smelling Kody's armpits. This is better. I would prefer to do this.
What is happening with this man?
I'm telling you, it's, the supplements.
So someone commented, I think it was on one of Gia's posts, and asked, or Bree's, whatever, they asked somebody what they were allowed to bring with them because they were very impressed by Gia's skincare.
Right.
They were told they were allowed to bring deodorant.
Which Kody didn't.
The other two things escaped me. But anyway, it was two other things and
Toothbrush?
Deodorant. No, they gave them toothbrushes.
Oh, gave them toothbrush. Okay.
There were certain things they gave them, certain things they were allowed to bring in that were personal.
Okay.
But I think the point was you were allowed to bring deodorant. And I'm guessing Kody didn't. Or he's bringing like one of those crystals that you just rub under there.
Not holding up.
They don't work for everybody.
There's all the aluminum pieces. I don't want that. That's bad for my body.
It's bad for your body.
Of course. So then we've been ripping on Kody pretty much this entire episode. As we should.
It feels so good.
As we should, right? Now we're getting to a very personal part of the episode where Kody is flipping his boot over and checking for scorpions.
I didn't even take a note on that.
I did.
I know.
Why do you think I did, Carly? Why did I take note
I
of
can't
that?
criticize this because this is me.
This is Carly.
This is me.
Carly has checked our shoes in Vegas on like the 20-something floor in a hotel on the Strip. And she has flipped over the shoes.
I couldn't sleep because I was convinced that there might be a scorpion somewhere in the bed.
You thought there was a scorpion
it was
on
possible.
the Strip? On the Strip?
Yes.
In a hotel?
Yes.
On the 27th floor?
It was a possibility to me.
Okay. There weren't any, by the way.
You see, this is where I start thinking, like, it is very possible that I have OCD.
Yeah.
That was an intrusive thought that I just could not stop thinking about.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's what Cody's going through here, too. He's got to check his boots.
I understand
it.
Why not? Just flip that thing over. Check. It's worth the 2 seconds. He doesn't want to get taken out by a scorpion bite. He's made it 7 days.
He's made it this far. Yeah. You got to be careful now. Anything could take you out.
So the DS are talking about who they're calling in next. And they decide, let's call Kody in. Everyone seems to hate him.
I mean, we hate him, right? Don't you guys hate him? Like, we hate him.
They say they don't know him well enough.
They say they don't, but I think they do. I think they're like, I don't like him. I want him to try to like make me appreciate him more or something. Like they're laughing at him, not with him.
Well, that is the entire episode, is we're all laughing at him.
Oh,
I actually
of course.
kind of felt a little, can I say this? I don't know. I felt a little bad for him.
Nope, he's earned it.
I know.
Nope, he earned every piece of this.
I was just thinking about the edit that everyone else got and how he is the butt of the joke this entire episode.
The whole episode. But yes, you have earned that. That's the thing. You don't just get here because, oh, he was such an upstanding guy, but everybody talks about him behind his back. No,
but I think that's why the DS is calling it in, because they're like, first impression, there's something about the guy we don't like. Very clearly, the people who spent the most time with him do not like him.
The recruits don't like him. Yeah. And
he's good at the physical challenges for the most part.
So far, definitely not the leadership stuff.
No. But if it's just do something physical, he will do it.
Yeah.
He's gotten himself this far. And they're surprised by the fact that he is at the age that that he's been able to keep up physically. Of course, anything that involves any amount of logistics, thinking,
all brawn,
planning,
all
working
brawn,
with other people.
No brain. Zero brain.
Yes.
All brawn. So they're like, all right, call him in. They put the bag over his head. They bring him in. They sit him down. When they pulled that bag off of his head, we thought we were going to get Sideshow Bob, Chucky Frizz. Didn't even move.
No, I think it's because he's not showering. He said he's let all of his personal hygiene go while he's been here. I think the hair was just stuck, slicked back in that position.
It
also,
didn't move.
The other thing is he doesn't have a lot of hair left in the front.
Yeah, there was nothing up there in the front.
That seems to be the location where most of the static electricity takes place that takes everybody's hair.
So that was impressive, just from...
He got a clean reveal.
Yeah, the logistics standpoint of pulling the bag off of his head. It's weird to start the conversation with, I'm happy to be here, though.
I expect nothing less.
Well, I know, but it's weird, though. Because then the staff's like, yeah, that's odd. That's a strange thing to say. And I think that at this point in the challenge here, in Special Forces, now the staff is prepping everyone for the final stuff, the interrogation stuff. Now that we went back and watched the season 2 finale, I think we have a little bit of a better idea of what to expect from that now too. Because I think that was the warning for Shawn was hey, you're a little robotic. You need to have some humanity that show, you have to win over your captors kind of a thing, is an element of it here for the final stages.
But that's what Kody's not doing well already.
He's
showing personality,
yeah,
but it's off-putting.
It is off-putting. Yeah. Or confusing and seems kind of disingenuous too a little bit. They can't get a read on him initially.
There's a cherish about it, is what he then... You thought it was weird enough when he said that he's happy to be here. What does there's a cherish about it mean?
Well, first of all, that's not grammar, but okay.
It's something to cherish.
Yeah,
it's an experience that I will cherish after leaving.
Yeah, or you have an appreciation for it. That would be another way that you could probably say that. But still, they're trying to, okay, what is the thing? What is it you say you do here, Kody? And his answer was oh, my calling was to be a husband and a father. How's that going?
Not good.
Not too good, you guys.
No, I love when the DS told him, I don't want you within 100 meters of me right now.
Yeah, because the question at the end ends up being, would the DS have you stand next to them? And they're telling him, I wouldn't want you within 100 meters of me right now. So...
You've got a lot to work on.
That's not good.
He's got 1 day left.
Well, maybe start with scrubbing the pits, start with the hygiene first.
That's true.
Because I don't want to be within 100 meters of you, downwind of you either.
He has to explain polygamy to them. They don't know anything about him. And he's telling them, well, I've had 4 wives. And they're at the same,
4 divorces?
The same time in the same home.
What? Well, I had and then a couple divorces, and now it's just the one wife. And a lot of my kids rejected me, which I took personally. Okay.
He started that, though, by talking about the favoritism. That part of what was difficult about that family arrangement was there was the accusation that he was favoring kids and then he wasn't, or the pressure of that. But then he says, they rejected me. I think they felt pretty rejected by you first. That's
Yes.
the part that you keep missing.
Right, yeah.
He's always so focused on the personal wound to himself that he doesn't think about how he's hurt other people.
So that's when Rudy's like, are you taking proper responsibility? These men have talked to Kody for about 5 minutes here, and they've got a solid read on, oh, this dude's the problem for all of this stuff. Go figure. So have you taken proper responsibility or ownership of your involvement in that lack of relationship between you and your kids? Because he keeps patting himself on the back throughout this conversation, how he used to be concerned about so many people. It was all these other people in his family that he was worried about all the time. And then they had to be like, well, you were only worried about the people who aligned with you, though.
Oh, then they read him for filth. You only were concerned about everybody as long as they sung your tune. That's what we're hearing from you.
You cared about them when they agreed with you. And then you turned your back on them when they rejected you by your standard.
Is that the story? Because that's the story that we're hearing.
Because
right?
That's what it's sounding like. And so then Kody has the realization where he's like, uh-oh, they're holding me accountable. So then he starts owning up. Yeah, I'm the discrepancy in those relationships. There are multiple relationships with my children that are not in good standing, and I'm the common denominator in that.
I know in the Discord, some people felt like this was performative of him, that he was just giving the answer that he felt like they were looking for. I don't know if I feel that way. What do you think?
I think that he knew that it wasn't going well. They weren't agreeing with him. They were still challenging him or questioning him. So he needed to take a different route.
I'm not sure he has the social awareness to do that.
I think he does. I think that's the salesman side of him.
Oh, you think he's trying to always be closing? That's what's on his mind.
He is getting to that point where he's telling them kind of what they want to hear to an extent. Because, like, I don't think that resonates within him.
Well, my feeling about it was that he needed to he was not going to hear this message from anybody else. He needed to hear it from men that he respects after having spent 7 days with them and seen the lessons that they have to share with him, that he was only receptive to that feedback coming from them. It would not have been from a therapist. It would not be from his wives who spent, 30 years with him.
Well, no, and they're telling him that's a really adolescent way of looking at things. Like, your outlook is very immature.
Thank you, Rudy. That is dead on.
Spot
on. You've got it. This is a very adolescent, immature man that is sitting in front of you.
And then also, once you really own that, because you can say, oh, yeah, that's my bad. I'm the common denominator. It's an issue with me. You can say that to us in this room. But until you do things to change that or to correct that, it doesn't matter what you say.
Was it Foxy who said to him, when you really own it, you'll do something about it?
What's the other guy? What's his name?
I don't remember.
Oh,
There's
no.
too many. There are 3 guys? 4
Scary.
guys?
Yeah, scary guy. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Rudy's the one who scares me, personally.
Well, Rudy's got the eyes, but Rudy has Kody dialed in. When he focuses in on him here, he
had a lot of good one-liners.
He had a lot of stuff to say where I don't know if Rudy's watched the show or if he was he's a fan. He's a legal wife in the Patreon here. No, I don't know.
The one thing about this conversation that really disturbed me was that he pretty much directly quoted Garrison from that episode where they were hanging out at his house, and he said he didn't want or need Kody in his life anymore.
Yeah, but I think that's the stuff that hurt Kody a lot, of hearing that.
I know. I just, coming into this show being on, one of the conversations was, is he going to go into this conversation with the DS and talk extensively about having lost his son, about Garrison?
Yeah.
And we didn't hear him talk about Garrison specifically.
Well, they didn't include it.
But we did hear him directly quote something that Garrison said.
He didn't include it, or like they didn't include it as part of the show. He could have talked about it. And then
we don't know how long they talk in these things. You have
Right.
to summarize things to some extent.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That bothered me, that it was part of his story about how the kids rejected him, that's what he took away from it. He really needs to do some extensive therapy.
I don't even know if that's it at this point either, because it's like he just needs to have actions to back up his words. Like that's the issue now, is that he has that Robin thing going on where Robin says all the right things in an interview or on tape, on camera, as part of the questions and response that she gives. It sounds like the right answer, but then what she's doing in practicality is complete opposite of that.
Yeah. Because it did feel like he had an epiphany when he was explaining, well, I didn't like being blamed for what happened.
I don't like being wrong. And then it felt like I was being called out on something wrong.
Which is why I was so resistant then to admit anything that I did wrong and try to make things right.
So that's what they're trying to reassure him. Like, that's a normal part of life, though. You're not right all the time. So you need to be able to admit when you are wrong.
They just abruptly end the conversation with him, and he must not have been expecting it because they call a guard, and he just full body flinches.
Well, he goes to get up, and it's like, no, that's not how this one works.
We're going to put the bag back over your head, and someone's going to lead you out of here.
Hold still now.
Stay.
Oh, I just flashed back to Shawn when they were putting the bag over her head. I think she said thank you to them again, because she was kind of like still in robot mode a little bit, but like smiled and said thank you. And then they slammed the bag over her head. And I was like, that was terrifying. It's just like something happened there. No, the best part of this, though, was when Kody had the bag back on his head. They stand him up and he says, turn to the right. And Kody turns to his left and he goes, you're right.
It was very embarrassing to do in front of the DS.
And he has to about face, and it's just like, oh my God, here's slapstick Gomer Pyle going at it again here.
So he leaves and he tells everybody about what it was like and the conversation that was had. He claims that he wants to repair his relationship with his kids and his exes. Yeah,
he needs to look past his facades that he has up here and kind of be more honest with himself.
Right,
because
he's saying, I've been deceiving myself about what happened and what reality is. So I have to get beyond that in order to get to the point where I can make things right.
And like the taking ownership part of it too, of like his input into how things are not ideal right now. And he says at one point in the voiceover you hear, I'm sorry that I have hurt or offended my children. And that kind of humility I need back in my life. They cut that in where they're making it seem like that's his epiphany here. But the tail end of that, they're showing him saying it. It's in his interview footage, the pre-shot stuff before they even stepped foot on the course.
A lot of the stuff they cut away to is from that day before they got out there. And they did all those pre-interviews because they said that while they were there, they had no interaction with production like that.
So that's what I'm saying is like they dropped that in and he's saying stuff like that before he even experiences anything here, which just makes me more inclined to believe he's full of shit. So if people are hearing that and they're like, wow, look, he realized that. No, that wasn't even from this. That wasn't a takeaway that he had.
You're saying because he came into this knowing that. It wasn't something that he learned.
That wasn't an epiphany. He didn't realize that.
So he's known that he's still taken no action.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
Yeah, well, and we know current day, it appears nothing has changed.
Correct. Yes.
So he left here and still did nothing.
Well, he was confused too. He's like, I don't know what to do with all of that here, though. Like, I don't understand how that correlates to how am I going to work on that here? Because this is all stuff I have to like take home and do.
I think you could work on humility. While you're here.
Yeah, try to work on communication.
Maybe get rid of some of the hubris that we have that's leading us to like kill our partner and our hostage.
Yeah, check some of that a little bit. Maybe. Can we do that? No, we have another task at hand that we need to do right now.
This is the part of the season where they make them all write death letters. So again, the concept is that you're here in part of special forces, that something could happen and you may not return home. So this is your opportunity to write a letter to your loved ones and express how you feel about them.
So first they bust in and I don't know, Kody was storming around the barracks and they had to tell him, sit down, mad dog. And it's like, oh, Cody's got a nickname now. He thinks he's got friends here. So you got to be careful with that.
It's that manic energy.
Yeah, he's just always up and about, moving around in erratic ways.
I get why Aurora has anxiety.
It's not helping.
This would not be good for me
It's
to
not
be around
helping.
24/7.
No, I know. Maisie would hate this. Maisie would be barking at Kody nonstop for a number of reasons, mostly the smell.
So Kody writes his letter. Everybody writes their letter, but I mostly took notes on Kody.
Yeah, I was trying to read it. You should have seen me.
You
with
did
the
a very good job.
With the TV paused and I had turned my head over, but it was a really weird angle. So some of it just looks like, paper written in pen that was like dipped in water where everything just like smears a little bit. So it was just kind of a strange angle, a little out of focus. But we did pull some nuggets here. And I mean, the stuff that he was reading was, "Dear Robin, love of my life, please tell my children I had wanted more time to tell them I loved them. Had there been more time, I would have got it right, fixed it. You were my rock through so much sadness. I'll see you in your dreams, sweet queen. My eternal love, Kody." Sweet queen?
So much that made me uncomfortable.
Sweet queen. The part that I was not able to fully decipher, but the one line that I was able to read, you'll know why I was able to draw this one out. Because, of course, the entire letter is about how great Robin is, how much he loves her, how she's an emotional and physical support for him.
That was like 3/4 of the first page.
Amazing, amazing things about Robin and Kody's relationship and how that means the absolute universe and the world to him. There was a line that read something along the lines of, "We find our island and disappear in a delicious bliss."
Delicious.
Delicious.
Pat's back.
Pat's
That's all
popping
he
up.
took away from therapy with Pat.
Delicious.
First
I think
problem.
that's a licking dog whistle, I think, of some kind. So
First problem I have with this. Why would you write this letter to Robin
just Robin.
and not your children?
You have so many people in your family, and you wrote to Robin. Just Robin, only Robin.
And then you wrote, can you just recommunicate that? Can you then spread the word to all of the kids that I wish that I had more time? That also annoyed me, that line, because he has wasted so much time. And he continues to waste time in not fixing things with them. No reflection. None at all.
No. This is a nice glimpse into what his will's going to look like, though, I think, too.
Well, that's what I was joking in the Discord, that the whole rest of it was instructions for his estate, how his estate should be distributed.
My last will and
It
testament.
was the whole next page. Who gets all the bear statues, his extensive watch collection.
The amethysts, the paintings, the pianos.
No one's getting them. Keep them, lock the doors.
Barricade yourself inside.
Keep the
immediately.
kids out. Everything goes to Prince Saul. Baby Saul is the inheritor of my estate. Randall writes his letter to his children.
I thought
that was refreshing.
I thought that was the juxtaposition here. It was Gia wrote her letter to Teresa, her letter to her mom. Bree wrote to her dad. Randall wrote to his kids. And then Andrew and Shawn wrote to each other, which that was kind of interesting because then you're reading your letter to the person.
It was like even more emotional.
Yeah. Well, and plus Andrew's was the best. I mean, that was overall.
I don't remember it.
You
It's the
don't
second
remember
time
it?
I don't remember it.
It was so good. It was so good. It was
very-
basically like, I leave you the same way I got you, with a sappy poem. And so he kind of like made light of it a little bit and joked about it, but he said some really sweet things in it too. They both did.
Now I'll see you in your dreams, sweet queen.
None of that. Thank you.
They trolled Kody from the beginning of the episode to the very end.
Well, they have to bookend it with some mouth tape.
As the lights go out.
This gets tucked in again for another night in paradise here.
We have 2 episodes left. Isn't that crazy?
This is crazy.
We did not think we would be here. We thought Kody
No.
would be maybe 2-3 episodes into this show and gone.
Do you think he's going to make it all the way?
I think he's going to make it to the interrogation. I don't think he's going to make it through the interrogation.
At this point, I think he would get to selection and then the staff would be like, nah,
Well,
we're good.
that would be fun to watch just because I'd like to see him be rejected by people outside of his family.
Oh, yeah, that would be fantastic. Very appropriate.
To get all the way and then come up short.
Yes. Next week, though, they are lugging chains up a hill. The DS are sicking dogs on them.
I didn't like that part.
And then, yeah, it looks like this is the capture portion of there's going to be the start of the interrogation for the final episode.
We still have a lot of recruits left. Are they going to have them all go to interrogation?
There are 6 people. I mean, that's not too far off from some of the previous seasons.
I don't know. I feel like I'd quit if they're threatening to have dogs chase me.
Interrogation is where it gets really, really tough, though, based on the stuff that we've seen. So we'll have to see how that plays out.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.